Here we are again, very quickly, I hope, with that Coast Guard kilt. The work to date. As we see, we've got the new canvas in, and do you remember the original maker had made a very aggressive cutout? And coincidentally, or fortuitously, I guess, when I shortened the kilt, I certainly didn't plan it this way, the bottom of their very aggressive cut was exactly 5 inches from the top, so it fit the canvas like a glove. I may thin this out a little bit more because I can feel the step as I rub my hands across it. And there's also that join in the middle that I really can't do anything with, unfortunately. I'm going to trim off, you never pull, I'm going to trim off the extra bits, but there's really nothing I can do with that, unfortunately. It's not really, you don't really feel it. I don't think if he's sitting on his kilt, he's going to go, what's that line? But we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I'm going to thin that out a little bit more. And you can see here, do you remember how I had to graft in a piece? And you can just see the seam there. I made it match and everything else. So when the lining is in, hopefully we'll do a video when the thing's completely done. When the lining's in, that line might not even be visible, that seam. But in the meantime, it's a neat workmanlike repair, which has a certain appeal of its own. The other factor, of course, is that, do you remember we had that great gaping hole, which I've salved by putting in a piece of my own regimental tartan. Now, yeah, so the next stage, I'm just putting the top band on, and somebody, this actually is directly in response to somebody who'd asked, what do I do when I'm letting out a kilt? What do I do with the top band? Because of course the old top band doesn't stretch. So we have two options, three options. One of them, if you have shortened the kilt, sometimes you got a piece of cloth, which you can then splice in. We do have that piece of cloth, but unfortunately, I'll pick all of the stitching out of it, but unfortunately, it's not really wide enough for me to do a proper, because properly, remember, it's folded over and then sewn down, and then it goes over the top. It's not really wide enough. I might give it a try. It's not, but initially it doesn't look really wide enough to do it, and I simply can't. Even though the bottom edge has been pinked there, I simply can't just do an overcast because it's just not good enough, right? Good enough's not good enough. So that was option one. Option two is to go through your scrap collection. Never throw pieces away. You go through your scrap collection and see if you can find something that matches. It doesn't matter too much when the person's wearing the kilt because, of course, the outer apron's on top, right? But we still want him to feel happy when he looks at the thing. So that's not going to work. I think I'm going to give that my best shot. But if it doesn't work, what I'm going to do is, this is the woven cloth tape used for garter knots. And this is sort of a vintage piece. It could be, God knows how old it is, but the cloth is still absolutely good. And what I will do is, because it has selvage edges, what I can do is fold it back, capture that to hide that ragged edge, right? Fold it back, stitch it along this edge, fold it over, and do the same thing that we've done at the other end here, where we just sort of have a package seam, almost like a French hospital corner on a bed. So there. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to do that. I'm going to thin out that back a little bit. And then I'm going to baste it up and give it a very, very good press. And after that, it's straps, buckles, and lining, and give the customer a call. Thank you.